Thanks for coming. We were debating whether people who don't want to come when we have blizzards would come when we have beautiful weather. We're glad you're here. Tonight's performance is The 39 Steps. The 39 Steps was an adventure novel written in 1915 by the Scottish author John Buchan while convalescing from an illness. It is the first of 5 novels featuring Richard Hannay, an all-action hero with a stiff upper lip and a miraculous knack for getting himself out of sticky situations, a man who puts his country's interests ahead of his own safety. It is one of the earliest examples of the, quote, man-on-the-run thrillers, or as Buchan called it, a shocker. The novel was turned into several motion pictures, most notably the 1935 version, which was directed by Alfred Hitchcock. Anybody seen that one? Black and white, hard to make out the people, but there it is, and it's good. And you can also get it online. You can find it online and watch it on your computer. Interestingly, the title of the book came from Buchan's daughter, who, while visiting her father in the convalescent home, saw a wooden staircase, and just learning how to count at the age of 6, she ran up and down the staircase and happily announced, "There are 39 steps." Well, sometime after the novel was published, the home was demolished and a section of the staircase, complete with a brass plaque, was sent to Buchan. Obviously, he convalesced. Anyway, we now present the 39 Steps.
From Hollywood, California, the LUX Radio Theater presents Robert Montgomery and Ida Lupino in The 39 Steps. LUX presents Hollywood. For your loyalty to our product, LUX says thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and brings you another hour of entertainment direct from the film capital. Tonight we star Robert Montgomery, Ida Lupino, Isabel Jewell, and Gene Lockhart. Louis Silvers conducts the orchestra. The 39 Steps lead an old friend and a newcomer, Robert Montgomery and Ida Lupino, to the stage of the LUX Radio Theater. Bob is heard tonight as Richard Hannay in The 39 Steps, adapted from the Gaumont British film, which in turn was taken from the novel by John Buchan. Gaumont British will shortly release The Girl Was Young, starring Nova Pilbeam and Derek DeMarnay, directed by Alfred Hitchcock. Ida Lupino is a girl I watch very closely and suggest that you do the same, for she seems destined for greatness in the theater. A highly entertaining miss, you'll meet her tonight in the role of Pamela. Isabel Jewell, featured in such hit films as Lost Horizon and Mark Woman, is heard as Annabella, and Gene Lockhart, top-flight character actor back from the New York stage, as Mr. Memory. And now for the play. The LUX Radio Theater presents Robert Montgomery and Ida Lupino in The 39 Steps with Isabel Jewell and Gene Lockhart. A London music hall. The evening performance is on and the theater is jammed to the doors. The audience has sat comfortably through the acrobats, the singers, and the whirlwind dancers. But now they're restless. The manager appears on the stage to announce the featured act. His hand is raised for silence.
Come on now. Ladies and gentlemen, with your kind permission, I now have the honor to present to you one of the most remarkable men in the world. I present Mr. Memory. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Every day, this remarkable mentality commits 50 new facts to memory. 50, ladies and gentlemen, facts from history geography, newspapers, scientific books, millions and millions of them. And he remembers them all. Test him, ladies and gentlemen, test him. Ask him any question you like, and he will answer fully and freely. Mr. Memory.
Thank you, thank you. Now then, ladies and gentlemen, a question, please. A question from anyone in the audience.
Who won the Derby in 1921?
Mr. Jack Joel's humorist, Steve Donahue, up, won by a length, odds 6-1. Am I right, miss?
That's right.
Thank you very much, thank you. Question, please. Do not hesitate. Another question, please.
Who was the last British heavyweight champion?
Bob Fitzsimmons. He defeated Jim Corbett, heavyweight champion of America, at Carson City, Nevada, in October 1897. He was then 34 years of age. Am I right, sir?
Right.
Thank you, thank you.
Mr. Memory, who won the football cup in 1926?
Would you mind repeating that question, young man?
Who won the football cup in 1926?
Bolton Wanderers defeated Manchester City at Wembley by 3-1 in the presence of His Majesty the King. Am I right, sir?
Righto.
Thank you. Another question, please.
Hey, where's my old man been since last Tuesday?
Madam, he's been where you can't ask him silly questions. Will the lady in the gallery please confine her questions to those of a more serious nature? Thank you. Thank you very much.
Gentlemen, no fighting. No fighting, please, gentlemen. Keep your seats. Everybody, keep your seats. Don't crowd the aisle. Orchestra, play something. Quick, they're in a panic. Play something.
Let me out of here. Oh, please, let me out of here.
Let the lady through there. Will you stand back, please?
Oh, help me, please.
Hold on to my arm, miss. I'll get you out of this. Get back there. Clear the aisles there, will you? This way, miss, this way. Come on, this way. Come on. There you are, miss. Take a good deep breath.
Oh, thank you.
Are you all right?
Yes, I had to get out of the theater, that's all.
A lot of people had that idea.
Oh, it wasn't the panic that frightened me. It was something else.
I'm afraid I don't understand.
Oh, I'm in terrible trouble. Will you help me?
Trouble? What kind of trouble?
I can't tell you here. Can we go someplace and talk?
Well, my flat is nearby.
Oh, let's go there. But hurry, please.
Go in, miss.
Thank you.
Now, if I can find this light switch.
Oh, no. Don't turn on the lights.
What?
Don't turn them on. It would be safer.
I'm afraid I don't understand you.
Will you pull down the blinds, please?
Very well. This just puts me doubly in the dark. My name is Richard Hannay. Any objections to telling me yours?
No, it's Annabella Smith.
Smith? Not really.
Is there anything wrong with it?
No, it's just an unusual name. And what's this all about? You said you were in trouble.
You don't believe me, do you?
I believe you're slightly hysterical.
If I am, I have good reason. I was the one who fired those shots in that theater tonight.
You? Why?
I had to do something to create a disturbance. I had to get away from there. There were 2 men in that theater who wanted to kill me.
Oh, come on now.
No, you've got to believe me.
But why should anyone want to kill you?
Because I'm what you would call a professional spy.
A spy? Whom do you spy for?
Anyone who pays me.
I suppose you're here to dig up some big state secret.
No, I'm here to save a secret for England.
Oh, go on, please.
The agent of a certain foreign power is on the point of obtaining a secret vital to your air defense. I tracked 2 of his men to that music hall. Unfortunately, they recognize me. That's why they're after me now.
Oh,
You still don't believe me, do you?
no, frankly, I don't, Annabella.
Very well. If you will look out of that window, you will see 2 men standing across the street. Look. Please do.
Oh, all right. I'll play your game a bit further.
Oh, don't let them see you. Well?
By Jove, you're right. 2 of them. They seem to be looking up here.
Come away, please. Do you believe me now?
Well, I suppose I must.
I'm going to tell you something that's not very healthy to know. But now that they've followed me here, you're in it as much as I am.
Yeah, so it seems.
Have you ever heard of the 39 steps?
39 steps? No. What are they?
Never mind. But this much you must know. If those men are not stopped, it's only a matter of days, perhaps hours, before the secret is out of the country.
Why not call the police?
Because they wouldn't believe me any more than you did. And if they did believe me, how long do you think it would take them to get going? Those men are acting quickly. You don't know how clever their chief is. Clever and ruthless.
Well, what's his name?
He has a dozen names, and he can look like 100 people. But there's one thing he can't disguise. The top of the little finger on his right hand is missing. Oh,
Come on now. You're trembling.
I'm frightened.
Well, you needn't be. You're safe here, you know. What you need is a good night's rest.
Oh, yes, I do.
You can have my bedroom. I'll sleep on the couch here in the living room.
Are you sure you don't mind?
Sleeping on the couch? Why, I've done it dozens of times.
No, I mean being in danger.
I'm not quite convinced of that yet. Is there anything I can get you?
Yes. Have you a map of Scotland, please?
A map of Scotland? Here it is. You going ear stalking or just plain hiking?
There's a man in Scotland I must see next, if there is anything to be done.
I see. Are there 39 steps in Scotland?
Perhaps I'll tell you tomorrow. Good night, Mr. Hanning. Thank you.
Good night, Annabella. Pleasant dreams. What the? Annabella! Annabella, was that you? Annabella, open that door! Will you open that door, or do I have to break it down? Annabella, where are you?
Oh,
Here, look at me. What's happened? What's the matter?
They came through the window. One of them had a knife.
Knife?
Oh, don't touch me.
But you're hurt. You're bleeding. Here, I'll call a doctor.
No, it's no use. Listen, you've got to stop those men. In a few days, they'll have the secret out of the country.
But how will I stop them?
Kinreach, the professor.
Kinreach?
Kinreach, Scotland.
What's there? Who is this professor? What's in Kinreach?
They'll get you just like they did me.
Annabella? Annabella! Good God! A ticket to Kinreach, please.
One, sir?
Yes, one. Hurry, please.
One to Kinreach, Scotland. Here you are, sir.
Excuse me, is this seat taken?
Right by us it ain't. Sit down, young fella.
Oh, thank you.
I say, Jess, who won the 2 o'clock at Epsom?
Here it is. Bachelor Button. Odds 7-4.
Ah, Bachelor Button, eh?
Hello, look at this. Another woman murdered in the West End.
Murdered, eh? Who was she?
Let's see here. A well-dressed woman of about 25 was found with a knife in her back. Lieutenant Richard Hannay is missing.
Blimey, that ain't the blasted limit. Missing, eh?
The police are hot on the trail and watching with careful eyes all points of departure from London.
Oh, so that's what they was a-doing, huh?
Who?
Those Scotland Yard. 2 plainclothes bloodies. I seen 'em on this train, asking plenty of questions, they was too.
Look here. Here's a picture of that Annie chap.
Let's get a squint at it. Rum-looking lot, ain't he?
Excuse me.
Here, young fellow, where you going? Don't you like that seat?
Oh, thank you. I just remembered something.
In a bit of a hurry, wasn't he?
He was that. I say, I think...
What?
I think he was the one who was just saw in the picture.
Oh, I beg your pardon. This is a private compartment.
Oh, is it?
Yes, and it happens to be occupied.
Oh, yes, so I see. Very charmingly, too.
Well, what do you want, please?
Your hospitality for a short while.
Really? Well, I'm not interested. Now, will you please go?
I can't.
What?
It isn't safe.
Listen, are you going or shall I call a conductor?
No, don't do that.
Stop! You're hurting my wrist!
I'm sorry. Listen to me. I want your help.
My help?
I'm Richard Hannay.
Hannay? Why, you're the man the police are looking for.
Yes, but I'm innocent. I swear I'm innocent. Listen, you've got to help me. It's terribly important that I be free for the next few days. You will help me, won't you?
Well, yes. Yes, of course I will.
Oh, that's fine. I'm sorry if I hurt your wrist.
Oh, that's all right. You say the police are on this train looking for you?
Yes, that's why I forced my way in here.
Oh, I see. And just how am I supposed to help you?
Well, they're looking for a man traveling alone. If I stay here with you, they'll think we're together. We'll pose as man and wife, and they won't pay any attention to us. They'll just pass us by.
How clever you are.
You'll do it.
Yes, of course.
Say, you're all right. What's your name?
Well, what's that got to do with it?
Nothing. I just wanted to know who my benefactress was, that's all.
Well, I'm Pamela Stewart.
Pamela, well, that's rather pretty. Suits you.
Thank you.
Well, there they are now. Remember, I'll sit here and pretend to read. You do the talking.
All right. Come in.
Excuse me. Have either of you seen a man pass here? Young fellow, smooth-shaven?
Why, no. Wait, are you the police?
That's right, miss.
Then this is the man you want. He forced his way in here, and he told me his name is Richard Hannay.
Why, you...
He did, eh? Come here, you.
Let go of me.
Are you Richard Hannay? Well, speak up.
Yes. Thank you very much, Miss Stewart.
Well, you didn't expect me to harbor a murderer, did you?
Unfortunately, I did. And I am not a murderer.
We'll see about that. Come on, Henny.
Certainly, gentlemen. I'll go with you willingly. In fact, I'll lead the way.
Grab him!
He's gone!
Here, get after him! Open that door!
I can't. He's holding it from the other side.
Here, let me try. Together now. 1, 2, 3. Get out of the way. Where is he? Where did he go?
There he is, down that passageway.
Stop him! Grab him before he gets to the vestibule.
Come back here, you. Come back. You. Stop. Stop.
Have you got him?
No. He's gone.
What?
He jumped. He jumped off the train.
The fool. He's probably lying dead in a ditch.
No. The last I'd seen of him, he was on his 2 feet and running like a rabbit.
Our first intermission, and while waiting for Act 2 of The 39 Steps, starring Robert Montgomery and Ida Lupino, we'd like you to go with us to one of the millions of homes where Christmas secrets are in the air and listen in on a very interesting conversation.
Aunt Sally, come here. I want to see you alone.
More secrets, Betty? The house is full of them.
Now the door is closed, we can talk. Aunt Sally, what can I give Mother for Christmas?
Did you ask her, dear?
Yes, and she just says all she wants from me is love and kisses.
Well, I did hear her say she needed more stockings. How about getting her some of the lovely sheer ones we saw in the store today?
But she always says sheer stockings are extravagant.
Not necessarily, dear. They wear very well if you're careful about washing. Just dip them in LUX soap suds every day. LUX keeps the silk nice and springy so it doesn't break so easily in 2 runs.
Then I'll tell you what. I'll buy some and tell Mother I'll LUX them for her every time she wears them. I'll buy a big box of LUX and give it to her with the stockings.
Now, that's a real Christmas gift, Betty.
Okay, I'll get some LUX flakes right away.
And be sure to use nothing but LUX flakes, dear. You know, rubbing stockings with a cake of soap is bad for them, and some soaps are strong, too harsh for delicate silk things.
Oh, thank you, Aunt Sally. You're an angel to help me. Mother's the most perplexing person on my list.
Stockings for Christmas and LUX flakes for stockings. A perfect combination. Robert Montgomery, Ida Lupino, Isabel Jewell, and Jean Lockhart continue with The 39 Steps. 2 days have passed, and Richard Hannay, wanted for murder he did not commit, is still at large. Determined to discover the secret of the 39 Steps, he's made his way to Scotland. The driver of a donkey cart has given him a lift, and he is now on the last leg of the journey, the outskirts of the village of Kinreach.
Are you going to stay long in Kinreach, laddie?
Well, that all depends. I'm looking for work. Do you suppose I could find something?
I hae me doubts, laddie. Kinreach is a mighty small town. What do you do?
I'm a chauffeur.
Well, I'm thinking you'd better try something else then. What folks as need chauffeurs in Kinreach has had them for years.
Oh, I see. But aren't there any newcomers? I mean, somebody told me about...
Now, wait a minute. I come to think of it. If I did hear something about a retired professor moving into the big house on the edge of the moor.
A professor? Yes. Yes, that's it. Well, I can try it anyhow.
Yes, sir.
Well, I'd like to see the master, please.
What name shall I say?
Oh, he doesn't know my name, but you might ask him if he knows Annabella Smith.
Yes, sir. Would you mind waiting in the other room here?
Is that someone for me, George?
Oh, yes, Professor.
How do you do?
How do you do? My name is Hammond. I've come from London, from Annabella Smith.
Oh, well, do come in, please. You must be tired. We can talk in the library. My daughter's having an engagement party. I'd rather not disturb her.
Yes, of course.
Go right in, please.
Thank you.
Sit down. Will you have a drink?
No, thank you.
Well, so what did you want to see me about, Mr. Hannay?
Hannay? You know me?
Yes, I suppose it's safe to call you by your right name now. What about our mutual friend, Annabella?
She's been murdered.
I know, poor girl. The police are looking for you.
Yes, but I didn't do it. I was in the park.
Oh, of course you didn't, but why come all this way to Scotland to tell me about it?
Well, I believe she hoped to come see you about some air ministry secret. She was killed by a foreign agent who was trying to steal it.
Oh, did she tell you what this foreign agent looked like?
No, she hadn't time. Oh, yes, there was one thing. She told me the top of his little finger is missing.
Oh, on which hand, Mr. Hannay?
On the left, I believe.
Are you sure it wasn't right?
Well, it might have been.
Like on my hand, Mr. Hannay?
Good Lord! Then you're the one she was...
The one she was trying to warn you against? The chief. You misunderstood her. She meant for you to kill me, not to bring me information.
Yes. Well, what are we going to do about it?
That's just the point. What are we going to do? You see, I live here as a respectable citizen. I should hate to have it known that I am not what I seem to be. You understand my position?
Oh, yes, quite.
What makes it doubly important that I shouldn't let you go is that I'm just about to transfer some very vital information out of the country.
What?
Oh, yes. I've got it already. I'm afraid poor Annabella would have been too late in any case.
Well, that's that, I suppose.
Yes. Well, what about it, Mr. Hannay?
What about what?
Yourself. It seems to me there's only one way out.
And what's that?
I have a small revolver here. Pretty little thing, isn't it? Supposing I left you alone with this. The newspapers could then announce tomorrow morning that the murderer had taken his own life.
You want me to kill myself?
Yes.
You're mad. I won't do it.
Then I'm afraid you leave me no alternative. You should have stayed in London, my friend. George.
Yes, Professor.
I want your help, please. There's a little job for us inside.
Hannay?
Yes, we'll carry him to the garage. When it gets dark, we can drop him off on a road somewhere.
Yes, sir.
Come in.
Where is he, sir?
Behind that table.
Here, sir?
Yes, pick him up and...
I'm sorry, sir. There's no one here.
What?
Well, you can see for yourself.
But I shot him. The body was lying there on the floor.
The body, sir, seems to have disappeared.
Get out of the road, please. What do you mean by standing in front of my car? You might have been killed.
Oh, sorry, lady. I just wanted a lift. Would you mind? Well, Miss Stewart, how do you do?
You? Well, what are you doing here?
Richard Hannay is my name. I believe we've met. On a train, wasn't it?
Yes, I think so.
Yes. If I remember correctly, you handed me over to the police. You did, didn't you?
Oh, get away from me.
Oh, don't worry. I don't hold it against you, really.
Well, now, that's very kind of you.
Yes, isn't it? What are you doing in Kinreach?
I live here.
Oh, it's a charming place, isn't it? You know where the local police station is?
Oh, of course I do.
Will you take me there?
What?
The police station. In a hurry, please.
Certainly. Well, I suppose you know what you're doing.
Oh, yes. You see, I know who killed Annabella Smith.
Is that so?
The same man who shot me a few minutes ago.
Shot you?
Yes.
Where?
Right in the cigarette case. See? There's a hole in one side of it. Handy little things, cigarette cases. If I hadn't been carrying it about in my vest pocket, the hole would have been in my chest.
And who is this arch-villain?
A gentleman called the Professor.
Professor? Oh, now, you don't mean Professor Bartlett.
I didn't stop to inquire his last name.
That's very funny.
Oh, come now, it isn't as funny as that.
Do you actually mean you're going to the police with this story? That Professor Bartlett shot you? That he's the one who killed Annabella Smith?
Of course. Why not?
And you expect them to believe it, I suppose.
Well, you don't, evidently.
No, and neither will they. Professor Bartlett, a murderer? Why, he's one of the best-liked men in the village, and a very good friend of the sheriff. I'm sure the sheriff will be interested in your story, Mr. Hanny.
Yes, I see your point. It hadn't occurred to me that... stop the car, please. I'm getting out.
Oh, no, you're not.
Stop this car.
You said you wanted to go to the police. Well, that's where you're going. And if you touch me or make a move to jump, I'll turn this car into a ditch.
Well, aren't you the sweet little thing?
Haha, you sit tight, Mr. Hanny, and don't make any sudden gestures. We're going rather fast.
You haven't the nerve, of course.
Haven't I? Just try me.
All right, I will.
Don't touch that brake.
Hang on! Where are you? Are you all right?
Quite all right, thank you.
You little fool. We might have been killed.
There.
There's someone coming. Keep down.
Let go of me. Hello! Hello!
Shut up!
Over here! Richard Hanny!
Why, you...
Richard...
There you are. Grab that man.
All right, honey, we got you, and don't try any funny business. Stand up.
Yes, of course.
Are you the police?
We've been looking for you, honey. Put the bracelets on him, Joe.
Right you are. Put out your hand. There we are.
Now put the other one on the girl.
Here! What are you doing?
We're handcuffing you to your friend here. Any objections?
Now see what you've done?
Oh, shut up. Listen, you can't do this. I don't even know this man.
You ride around the country with him in a car and you don't know him? Of course you don't.
Yes, but I'm telling you, I don't.
Keep your mouth shut. All right, Joe, take him to our car. It's a good day's work for us.
Will you please move over?
Are you talking to me?
Yes, I am.
Very well.
Ow, my wrist!
Well, you asked me to move, and if I move, you move with me. It's a scientific fact that when two people are handcuffed together...
Officer, must I be chained to this man?
Aye, you must, and keep quiet about it.
Wait a moment. Where are you taking us? This isn't the way to the sheriff's office.
Well, we're not exactly going to the sheriff's office, eh, Joe?
Not exactly, no.
Well, where are we going?
Well, it's the real head we're going to see. The sheriff principal, eh, Joe?
Aye, the sheriff principal.
I don't understand.
Would you like to have a small bet with me, Pamela Stewart?
Now, what do you mean?
I'll bet you 100 to 1 that the man they call the sheriff principal has the top joint of his little finger missing. Am I right, gentlemen?
You shut your mouth, young feller. I'll shut it for you for good.
Ah, you see, Pamela, I win. They're taking us to your old friend, the professor. Charming gentleman, the professor. Best liked man in the village. And a personal friend.
Oh, will you be quiet?
Hey, what are we stopping for?
Ship, a whole flock of them across the road.
Well, blow your horn. Maybe we'll scare 'em.
Oh, stubborn beasts, they won't move an inch.
Well, come on. We'll have to get out and shoot 'em off.
Here, get on there, shoo, get on there.
Go on, get out of the way. Go on, get out. Go on, get going.
Now's our last chance. Let's make a run for it.
Run? How can we?
Come on. When I say jump, jump and run for your life.
Yes, but they'll catch us.
Go on, jump.
Hey, look, they're getting away.
Stand where you are.
There they go.
Give it to them.
They're shooting.
Come on, you little fool, run for it.
Oh, please don't go so fast. You're hurting my wrist.
Shut up.
Oh, I can't go any further. I've lost my shoe.
Where?
Oh, back there.
Well, forget it. All right, sit down for a while.
Do you think we've lost those men?
Oh, it's as black as pitch on this moor. They'll never find us now.
You know, this is all very silly. You can't escape. What chance have you got handcuffed to me?
Keep that question for your husband. When you get one, you're quite a burden.
Oh, yes, I know, and I can't tell you how it comforts me. Why don't you give yourself up?
To whom?
Oh, give yourself up to Scotland Yard.
Thank you, but it's a little impractical at the moment. Listen to me. I told you the truth on the train, and I'm telling it to you now. There's a dangerous conspiracy against this country, and I'm the only man who can stop it.
Ha ha, I don't believe you.
All right, well, very well then. I'm just a plain, common murderer who stabbed an innocent, defenseless woman in the back in Portland Place, London. I don't know how innocent you may be, but you're a woman. You're defenseless, and you're alone on a desolate moor in the dark. And you're manacled to a murderer who would stop at nothing to get you off his hands. If that's the story you prefer, have it, my lovely, and welcome.
Well, I'm not afraid of you.
Why not? For all you know, I murdered a woman. You listen to a bit of advice. From now on, you do everything I tell you to do, and do it quickly.
Oh, you wretched bully.
I admire your pluck, but you keep a civil tongue in your head. Otherwise, I might feel the next killing was a bit overdue. All right, on your feet now.
Well, where are we going?
I see some lights over that way. We'll do a little investigating.
Well, I won't go. I'm going to stay right here.
Pamela, are you forgetting I murdered a woman? Well?
Don't you strike me. I'll go. Say, what kind of place do you think this is?
I don't know. Looks like an inn. Now remember what I said, a civil tongue or else. And you back me up in everything I say or do. Do you understand?
Yes.
Stay close to me and hold my hand. It'll hide the handcuffs. Good evening.
Good evening. evening. Welcome to the King's Head Tavern. And what can I do for you and the lady?
We had an accident with our car a few miles back.
Hey, that's too bad now. You want to stay the night, I suppose?
Oh, yes, we do.
And will it be 2 separate rooms or one?
Oh, 2 separate rooms.
One room, please. One.
Well, which?
1, thank you.
Oh, one. And what's the name?
Hawkinson. Yes, Hawkinson. Henry Hawkinson and Mrs. Hawkinson.
Well, come along, Mr. Hawkinson. The rooms are at the top of the landing.
Thank you. Say, nice place you have here.
Aye, it'll do. Here's the room.
Oh, thank you.
Well, good night to you.
Oh, wait. Now, wait, please. You mustn't go.
Well, what's the matter, lass? Is there anything wrong?
Yes, well,
Of course there's nothing wrong. She wants to tell you something, that's all.
Yes, I want to tell you that...
Yes. You see, we're a runaway couple.
Are you now?
Yes. As a matter of fact, we've been running all night. If anyone inquires for us, you won't give us up, will you?
Ah, that I won't. I was young once myself. Well, good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night. Inside, Pamela.
Of all the outrageous things. Listen, you don't think I'm going to spend the night in this room with you?
Personally, I don't see how you can help yourself.
Oh, stop jerking my arm.
I'm so sorry. I want to take my shoes off. My feet are tired. And you'd better stand here by the fire and get warm. You'll be catching cold.
And if I did?
Stand by the fire.
Don't yell at me like that. I didn't ask to come with you.
And I didn't invite you, but here we are.
Well, aren't you afraid those men will find us?
I'm not thinking of that so much as some way to get out of these handcuffs.
Oh, I have a nail file in my pocket. Maybe that'll help.
Oh, that would be dandy. If you filed 24 hours a day, 10 years from now, we might be free. Imagine, tied to you for 10 years. It's a horrible thought.
I've had enough of your insults. I'm going to tell the innkeeper the whole story.
You want me to hang for a murder I didn't commit?
As long as you hang, I don't care whether you committed it or not.
What a bloodthirsty creature you are. Haven't you any pity?
No.
Ow! Now, what are you up to now?
I'm merely trying to file the handcuffs.
Well, don't jab me in the wrist that way. I don't like it.
I'm sorry.
You're going about it in a very amateurish fashion anyway. I can see you know nothing about filing handcuffs.
And I'm sure you do. Now tell me, how did you start being a criminal?
So you want the story of my life? It's really very interesting.
Oh, I'm sure it is.
I was born a poor orphan boy. From the beginning, I hadn't a chance. Ouch!
I'm sorry. It slipped.
Accidentally?
Accidentally. Go on, please.
I started by pilfering pennies out of other children's lockers at school. Then a little pocket picking and car pinching. And at last my efforts were rewarded, and I graduated into straight burglary.
With diploma?
With diploma.
Ooh.
I killed my first man when I was 19. It scared me at first, but I soon got hardened to it. Lady, you wouldn't believe me if I told you.
It was your fault. The whole thing was your fault.
My fault? How do you make that out?
If you hadn't stopped the car for those blasted sheep, we'd had 2 of them at the professor's parlor right now.
We'd better have him there soon, that's what I say. The professor was anxious about Hannah. Knows too much, he says. Get him.
Get him? We had him, and the girl, too.
You didn't suppose they'd head in somewhere, do you? Stop at a tavern, I mean?
They might, in this weather.
There's a place about 4 miles back. King's Head Tavern, it's called.
King's Head Tavern. That'd be somewhere near where they gave us the slip. Turn around. We'll find out.
Right.
And if we see him again, blast just shoot straight.
I will, all right. You can depend upon that.
Then, little by little and year by year, I sunk lower and lower.
And you got badder and badder.
That's right. You might have read about me in the papers. They call me Hannay, the Cornish Bluebeard. And that, milady, is the horrible story of me life.
Dear, dear, and you have such a nice face. Now, how many people have you killed altogether?
9. And if you don't watch the point of that nail file, it may be 10. Ouch!
Well, at least I'm trying to do something.
Well, if you don't mind, I'm going to try and get some sleep. I haven't had a wink for 48 hours.
Well, I'm not at the least bit tired. Besides, I have to stay by the fire and get dry.
All right. You don't mind if I stretch out in the chair, do you?
No, not at all.
Oh, thank you. Oh, good night.
Good night. I don't see how you can sleep at a time like this. I said I don't see how you can sleep at a time like this.
I'm hardened to it, that's all. A hardened criminal will sleep any time.
Listen, did you hear that? There's a car out there. It just drove up. A car.
It's your imagination.
It's not my imagination. I heard a car. Oh, all right, if you don't care.
Don't care. Just don't care.
Don't do that. What's the matter with you anyway?
Oh, I'm so sorry. You mustn't get frightened, Pamela. I have awful nightmares. I guess it's my conscience bothering me. Good night.
We pause now for station identification. This is the Columbia Broadcasting System. Once again, the 39 Steps, starring Robert Montgomery and Ida Lupino with Isabel Jewell and Gene Lockhart. It's early the following morning. Richard Hannay stirs restlessly in the armchair and rubs his eyes sleepily. Suddenly, he jumps from the chair and stands in the middle of the room, staring down at the handcuffs which are dangling from his wrist. Pamela Stewart, on the other side of the room, smiles cheerily.
Good morning, Mr. Hawkinson. Looking rather dazed this morning.
How did you get free?
Oh, very simple. A little matter of work while you had your nightmares.
I suppose you filed the handcuffs.
No, darling. I picked the lock. I was trying to do the same for you, but the file broke.
Say, what's wrong with you?
Oh, nothing that I know of. Oh, you mean my shoes? Yes, they're rather large, aren't they? I borrowed them from the innkeeper's wife.
Oh, no, it's not the shoes. Why are you being so nice? You don't feel ill or anything, do you?
No, why should I?
Well, why didn't you leave? You were very anxious to, if I remember correctly.
Well, something happened last night that convinced me that you've been telling the truth.
May I ask what earthquake caused your mind to work at last?
Well, when I got free, I went downstairs, and the car you said I imagined belonged to our pursuers. It was sitting downstairs when I got there.
Did they see you?
No, I hid behind the counter. But they asked the innkeeper about us.
Well, what did he say?
He said he hadn't seen us. And then they ordered something to eat, and while they were eating, they talked a lot about about the 39 steps.
39 steps?
Oh, don't ask me what it means, because I don't know.
Anything else?
Well, they said the professor was clearing out of the country.
Then he has got the secret. Did they say how soon he was leaving?
No, but they did say he was going to London first to pick someone up at a music hall.
39 steps. London Music Hall. It doesn't make any sense. Which room are these men in?
Oh, they left.
When?
Oh, about 4 or 5 hours ago.
And you let them go after hearing what they said? You button-headed little idiot, you.
Don't you speak to me like that.
My dear girl, I'm accused of murder. The only way I can clear myself is to expose those spies.
Then why don't you go to Scotland Yard?
Well, what's the use? You said yourself that no one would believe me.
Well, then why don't I go to Scotland Yard?
Well, why not? They'd listen to you.
Of course they would.
Come on, let's get the next train for London.
You wish to order now, sir?
No, thank you. I'm waiting for someone.
Beg your pardon, sir. Your face looks familiar. Are you in the cinema?
No, I'm not. Bring me a bottle of ale, will you?
Very good, sir.
Oh, make that 2, please.
Yes, miss.
Oh, Pamela, sit down.
Did you think I was never coming?
Oh, well, not exactly, but I was getting nervous waiting. Well, what happened? Did you go to Scotland Yard?
Yes.
Well?
Prepare yourself for a shock.
Why?
Well, they checked every possible channel, and the Air Ministry are positive that no papers are missing that would be of any possible use to spies.
But that's incredible. Are you sure?
Well, that's exactly what they said.
I don't know what to make of it.
I think you've been tricked.
Well, it certainly is all very bewildering.
Oh, I'm sorry, Richard. Really, I am. Look, I think you better go now.
Go where?
Oh, go any place. Leave the country. I'll help you.
You?
Oh, I know it sounds funny, but somehow I couldn't bear the thought of them catching you again.
Why, Pamela?
Oh, I don't know. I guess I just changed my mind about you, that's all. Of course, you're as vain as a peacock, and I couldn't stand you for any length of time, but you're not so bad.
Well, you're not so bad either. If I weren't in this jam, I'd...
What?
Nothing. Come on, let's get out of here.
No, you'd better stay. I'll run and get a ticket for Liverpool. There ought to be a boat traveling soon.
Pamela!
Well, what's the matter? What are you staring at?
Look out the window. Do you see that billboard across the street?
Yes, is there anything strange about it?
A list of acts playing this week at the Palladium. The feature attraction is Mr. Memory.
But I don't understand.
Come on, we're going to get out of here.
Well, where are we going now?
The Palladium.
But why?
I don't know, but we're going just the same.
Here are your seats, sir. First 2 in the aisle.
Oh, thank you. Sit down, Pamela.
This is silly. In the first place, the show's almost over.
Shh.
And if anyone sees you, what are you looking for?
Be quiet. I'm just playing a hunch, that's all.
Well, you're playing a fool if you ask me.
Ladies and gentlemen, with your kind permission and attention, I now have the honor to present to you one of the most remarkable men in the world. I present Mr. Memory.
Hey, Pamela.
What?
Look at that right-hand box nearest the stage. You see that small man sitting in front?
Why, yes,
It's the professor. The professor himself.
Oh, we better get out of here before they see you.
No, sit down. Listen.
Every day he commits to memory 50 new facts, and he remembers every one of them. Facts from history, from geography, from newspapers, from scientific textbooks. Yes, ladies and gentlemen.
Pamela, I've got
millions
it. I've
and
got
millions
it.
of facts, and he remembers them all.
Don't you see? The details of this Air Ministry secret have been borrowed,
Ask him any
memorized by
questions
Mr.
like,
Memory,
and
then put
answer
back
fully
again
and
before
freely.
anyone could know.
Why, that's it. Of course it is.
Mr. Memory.
Pardon me, sir. but there's someone that would like to speak to you.
Who, me?
Are you Richard Hannay?
Well,
You're under arrest.
Wait, officer.
Questions? Has anyone a question?
Listen, there's something here you ought to know.
That'll keep, laddie. Come along quietly.
Oh, but you must listen to him. That man on the stage. He can...
How far is it from Winnipeg? Is Winnipeg from Montreal? Come on, we don't want any excitement here.
All right, I'll go quietly.
Winnipeg, capital of Manitoba, distance from Montreal.
Richard, you're not.
Pamela, what's the use?
1,420 miles, am I right? Thank you. Question, please. Do not hesitate. Question, please.
Hey, wait a minute. Mr. Memory, what are the 39 steps? Come on, answer up. What are the 39 steps?
The 39 Steps. The 39 Steps is a secret organization headed by Professor...
There's a man up there in the box. He's the one who shot him.
Stop that man!
Stop that man! Stop him! Stop him! I want to see Mr. Memory, please. Where's his dressing room?
Number 5, but you can't go in now.
Well, I'm afraid we have to. Detective, have you a pencil and piece of paper?
Yes.
I want you to write down everything you hear.
But listen here.
Do as he tells you, please.
I'm going to prove to you that the man who shot Memory is the murderer of Annabella Smith.
What is it?
We want to see Mr. Memory. How is he, Doctor?
Very bad. Did they get the man who shot him?
We got him all right. He'll hang for it, too.
Oh, Mr. Memory? Mr. Memory, can you hear me?
Yes.
Mr. Memory, there's something I'd like you to tell us, please.
Yes?
What was the secret formula you were taking abroad?
Will it be all right, my telling you? It was a big job learning it. The biggest I've ever tackled. I don't want to throw it away, sir.
It will be quite all right.
The first feature of the new engine is its greatly increased ratio of compression, represented by the formula 1 minus 1 over R to the power of gamma minus 1, where R represents the ratio of compression and gamma dimensions of cylinder's diameter. This device renders the engine completely silent. The exhaust gas is impinging on a series, entirely eliminating all sound. Am I right? Am I right, sir?
That's quite right, old chap.
Thank you, sir. I'm glad it's off my mind at last.
Memory? Mr. Memory?
Richard, what is it?
The Air Ministry's secret will never leave England.
This way, please. We can pick up the police car on the corner.
The police car? Where are you taking us?
To Scotland Yard, of course.
Scotland Yard?
Yes, but you can't do that. You heard what the man said. He didn't kill anybody.
Easy now, easy. He'll be all right. All we want is to put the story on the record.
Okay.
Oh, that's better.
You've nothing to worry about at all. He'll be a free man in an hour, Mrs. Hannay.
Hannay? Well, what are you talking about?
Well, I thought...
Mrs. Hannay?
I'm sorry, I thought that you were...
would be just fine, that would. We were together for 1 day. 1 day, and we fought for 24 hours.
20. You were asleep 4 hours.
Can you imagine what it would be like? Fight for breakfast, fight for lunch, fight for dinner. One long, drawn-out battle for the next 30 or 40 years.
Ooh, 30 or 40 years. Do you think we could keep it up that long? I mean, really.
Well, we could try.
Robert Montgomery and Ida Lupino have completed the 39 steps. Just a moment for a suggestion to the women who begin when winter comes to be bothered by rough, chapped hands. Perhaps they don't realize that the trouble may start in the simple daily task of washing the dishes. Here's the reason. There are oils in your skin which give it a protective coating against cold weather outdoors and steam heat indoors. If you use a strong soap in the dishpan, these oils are dried up. Your skin gets rough and red. To protect these beauty oils, simply change your harsh soap to LUX Flakes. Women find the difference between LUX and ordinary soaps for dishes almost unbelievable. They feel it the moment they put their hands in the dishpan. There is no sting in the very gentle, soothing LUX suds. Almost at once, your hands will begin to look smoother and whiter. Begin tomorrow to keep your hands lovely by washing dishes with LUX Flakes. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight's cast of thousands was ably performed by our cast of few. Andre Dixon participated as the music hall manager, the butler, and the Palladium Hall manager. Aunt Sally, one of the women in the LUX commercial, a voice at the music hall, and the train guard were ably handled by Nell Brennan. Sue Gajinski voiced Annabella Smith, Betty, the other woman in the LUX commercial, the driver, and the detective. Richard Hanney, the man on the run, was handled by Jay Summerfield. His partner in crime, Pamela Stewart, was Donna Amesmeyer. Mr. Memory, a Cockney, the professor, and a Scotsman was all played by Herb Thompson. In addition to doing our sound, Marty McNulty was a voice at the music hall, a policeman, the usher, and the doctor. Walt Kovalek participated as a voice at the music hall, a Cockney, a Scotsman, and the innkeeper. The announcer, Melville Ruick, was played by yours truly, Dave Sanchi. New to our stage, Barb Gajinski played the ticket inspector, a policewoman, and a woman at the Palladium. Also brand new, Susie Krickeberg played a rowdy woman and a screaming woman at the music hall and a waitress. And we were all a flock of sheep. Also, special thanks to our technical crew, John Gelsomino and Lorenzo Cordova. And we'd like to thank the Riverside Township Board for their continued support. And Ellie Babka for transcribing our script. She couldn't be with us tonight. One of the most glamorous beauties that the screen has ever known appears in the LUX Radio Theater next Monday night. Marlene Dietrich. Our play is taken from the highly successful motion picture in which Miss Dietrich starred, The Song of Songs, a love story of a Viennese girl and the three men who try to win her. Miss Dietrich will be surrounded by an all-star cast headed by Douglas Fairbanks Jr. and Lionel Atwell. Our sponsors, the maker of LUX Flake, join me in inviting you to be with us again next Monday night when the LUX Radio Theater presents Marlene Dietrich, Douglas Fairbanks Jr., and Lionel Atwell in The Song of Songs. The special guest of the evening will be the creator of Mickey Mouse and the Silly Symphonies, Mr. Walt Disney. Good night to you from Hollywood. This is the Columbia Broadcasting System. And now here's Walt Kovalek to tell you about our May performance.